Welcome in, fans, to the Hearst Alumni Spotlight. I'm your host, Jack Angelucci, and let's meet today's panel.
Hi, my name's Andrew Bennett. I'm graduating class of 2020, so recently finished. I was on the soccer team for 2 years. 2016, we won the Peace Act, and then from there, kind of helped out for 2 years. After my playing time was done in 2017, helped coaching, kind of a volunteer assistant, finishing my degree off. And then just recently started kind of working in the States, bits of coaching here and there. Obviously with the lockdown, that's made it a little bit harder, but that's pretty much what I've been up to recent.
Yeah, I'm Ryan Lund. I graduated in 2015. I majored in finance and accounting. And after that, I moved back to Cleveland, where I'm from. And I've been working with the same company since then. Now I just live downtown Cleveland.
Yeah, I'm Fernando Martinez, graduated 2015 with the same class Ryan did. After that, I came back to Honduras, and I'm currently the athletic director at one of the biggest high schools in the country.
All right, very cool, guys. Thank you for coming on the show, obviously. Andy, we'll start with you for this first question because you're the most recent graduate. So talk about kind of the recruiting process and how you ended up here at Mercyhurst.
So yeah, for me, it was kind of a bit of a long process. Initially, coming from England, I was kind of going through an agency. And then from there, I ended up actually at a junior college before Mercyhurst. And then from there, I had 2 years. And then Coach Austin, I think it was maybe his first recruiting class or maybe second one, kind of got in contact with my coach, had a few back and forth emails, and then pretty much from 2 emails, I think I was already set coming to Mercyhurst. And then I came 2016, and straight off the bat, it was a great year. We had a great team. I think Ryan and Fernando had just recently kind of left, but they knew quite a few of the players as well. Great group of guys, all from all over the world. I just really enjoyed it. Second year wasn't as great, but still met so many people. And Coach Austin still close with, and Fernando I've played with recently, and then Ryan I know as well through his brother, who we had great times with at Mercyhurst as well.
Fernando, same question to you. How did you kind of end up choosing Mercyhurst through your recruiting process?
Yeah, it was kind of weird because it was I graduated from high school 2008. And I got recruited early 2011 by I met Austin because Austin graduated from the same high school in the country as I did, and he was part of the team. I think Ryan, he was a sophomore, right? Austin was a sophomore at that time.
Yeah.
And then I had a couple of videos because I used to play over here in my country. Didn't continue playing, and I had a couple of videos built in. And Austin told me there was a spot open at Mercyhurst midfield. I sent the video, and out of a sudden, I got the call from Dale White, who was a current head coach at that time. And I got offered to go play over there. And early 2011, I said yes. And by fall, I started playing with Mercyhurst, and we had a good run. Yeah.
Very cool story about how you ended up here. Ryan, same question to you.
Yeah, so my older brother went to Mercyhurst, and my younger brother, but my older brother played for the team, and he graduated, it would have been in 2011. So we missed each other just by a year. Same case with my little brother, we missed each other by a year. So it was 4 years, and never got to play with each other. But I got to go up and visit Mercyhurst, see a bunch of games. And then I got, familiar with the coaching staff, and I thought it was a good fit, and, kind of filled in right after that, after my brother left.
All right, Fernando, next question. We'll start with you. So looking back on your years at Mercyhurst, it doesn't be necessarily one word, but in a couple words, kind of just describe the program, the soccer program as a whole.
I think it evolved from the first year we played. The first year I got there, I think it was a category of players that Dale and Nenad had, which weren't picked especially by them. And then our first recruiting year, I think they started to build up the team that to play. Obviously, our sophomore, junior, and senior year, the program grew a lot. I mean, I think we won like 2 PSAC. I mean, we made 3 PSAC conference finals, won 2 of them, and made it to the final 4, 2 times Elite 8. I mean, the program grew a lot, and I think it was the main key. We had a couple of players from all over the world that, I mean, we made a really good bond together, and I mean, the program grew, and I always said that Division II team could play Division I and make a good run for it, that we were that good. Yeah.
Ryan, looking back on your time at Mercyhurst, how would you kind of describe the program in a couple words?
I would say a strong team and a strong culture. I mean, kind of going off what Fernando said, like we went in, kind of already set up like for success with like a strong class coming back in, but at the same time, we brought in some other players and it made us even stronger. Yeah, like after our first year, we thought our sophomore year was kind of going to be a rebuilding year, but that ended up being the furthest we went, which Fernando brought up going to the Final Four. So, I think that strong culture really helped us, get there.
Definitely. And Andy, closing off with you, same question in your time here.
Yeah, for me, kind of similar in terms of I was coming in, kind of they've been doing well for the last few years. I think the year before was maybe one of the first years in a while they didn't actually win the PSAC, but then coming in, it was just such a strong group. And I know Coach Nen had always kind of emphasised how much of a family kind of being part of the team is. And that's definitely the case with how many internationals we had. Like everyone was just together. You didn't really have anyone else there. Obviously with the Lunds as well, like that was one family that we all, like everyone got to know so well. I also had Ian Harris on mine, who was an American, who was kind of like our go-to as well. But everyone was just one big family.
Very cool. And Ryan, we'll start with you for this next question, moving along here. Obviously, you guys alluded to some of the success you guys had on the pitch, but talking about maybe one favorite memory you have on the field and then one kind of off the field here at Mercyhurst, what kind of stands out when you think about your favorite memories?
I think on the field, and I think Fair would agree with this, is when we won in the when we won in the Elite 8 against Southern New Hampshire. We kind of went in as like the big underdog and somehow won 2-1. And then that's what, like right after the game, that's when it kind of sunk in. It was like, wow, we're in the Final Four. And and that's kind of how it all went down. But then thinking about off the field, kind of what Andy was saying is, just like meeting all these different people. Andy came to my family's place several times, mostly around Thanksgiving time because he didn't have time to go home. But Fernando at the same time too, he would come over and stay with us in Cleveland. It's just building those relationships off the field. Getting to know everyone, which I think did actually help on the field. But I would say, just meeting everyone and still keeping in touch.
Andy, same question to you. Favorite on the field memory, then off the field?
Yeah, on the field, definitely my first year. We had second year as well. We had 2 wins against Gannon, which was always nice. And then obviously like the PSAC run, the semi-final and final. Just winning it my first year definitely was something I didn't expect at first, but it paid off. And then off the field, just kind of the away trips were always good. Obviously staying over for the national tournament, you have a bit of an extended break and just having a laugh with your kind of friends everywhere. And then just some of like the Thanksgiving breaks, spring breaks, you're always traveling with kind of your teammates that are then now your friends from all over the world. So it's always a great laugh with them.
Fernando?
Yeah, I think on the field, I would agree with Ryan. That game against Southern New Hampshire was it was an incredible feeling because nobody gave a chance that we could win. And off the field, we had to agree with these two guys. I mean, the bond and everything we did off the field together. Especially, I lived it with Ryan for I think it was 2 years, right? Yeah. And even when we got together in our house and then we could go to Lundy's house and everything, the memories are great and it was an experience that you would never forget.
Very cool. Andy, this question will start off with you. What is one word of advice you would have given to your freshman self now looking back on your career and time at Mercyhurst?
Definitely just kind of giving your all. Even like I know coming off my second year, kind of we had won the PSAC and we felt like it was just kind of going to pick up from where we left off. Kind of once you've kind of done the first bit, like that second semester, don't let up in your spring semester. It's kind of hard because you're not got your season to straight away go into. But definitely just make the most of every kind of like training, every game, because for me it was over within 2 years at Mercyhurst, so it definitely flew by. And training something I always miss. It's just a good laugh going into kind of the 5-2 squares. Just there, definitely working hard, but definitely a good laugh with all your mates.
Fernando, same question to you.
I mean, yeah. I would give myself patience, be patient, because obviously when you start a career and you're coming from another country, well, you don't know the culture, you don't know even the soccer culture that you could get to watch. You need to be patient, and even though you think you can't make it, if you're patient and you're smart about what you're doing, I think you will have success. So I think patience will be my biggest advice.
And then Ryan, to end this question off.
Yeah, I would say I would agree with Fernando there with patience, and then really just trusting like the process. You know, like I said, I thought, going into our freshman year, especially on the field, we thought that was going to be our best year, but wasn't really the case. And then, sophomore year, we kind of started trusting each other, and that's how we became better. And all it took was a little bit of patience, and then, just getting to know each other, on and off the field.
All right, for this next question, kind of a similar question, but obviously with everything going on with COVID-19, things here on campus a bit different, especially as far as athletics go. Fernando, this one's for you. What's a piece of advice you would give to all current Mercyhurst student athletes, during these crazy times of coronavirus?
It's interesting because in my position right now, I need to talk to a lot of kids, a lot of students, and I think the key right now, guys, is you need to be patient. There's always going to be time for everything. Right now, sports is not the main focus. I think the main focus right now is staying healthy, staying with your family. And after this is over, I think we are going to have a process in which we can't go out as much as we used to or as full as we used to. So there's always going to be time for everything, there's always going to be time for coming back to the field and play, and then hanging out with your friends. So you got to be smart about it. Yes.
And Ryan?
Yeah, just, follow the rules, keep safe, trust the coaches, whatever they're telling you. And then hopefully, this will eventually blow over and then you could get back on the field. But, being on the field isn't really the priority right now, but, at the same time, and you can still keep up with your training and all that as well.
And Andy?
Yeah, I'd say biggest thing I found is definitely keeping a routine. You don't want to kind of get out of whack with what you've been doing. Don't be waking up late. Just try and stay on a schedule that you would if you were having training each day, having certain gym sessions. Try and do what you can in kind of the difficult circumstances, but it'll definitely help kind of your mental state as well, and just speak to all your teammates as well as much as you can.
All right, last question before we let you guys go here. Ryan, we'll start off with you for this last one. How has Mercyhurst kind of prepared you for the rest of your life going forward, reflecting in your time at the school?
Yeah, I felt like I got a solid degree to set me up for success. I was able to get a job, like even when I was still at Mercyhurst, so even before I graduated. Got that degree, but also, I feel like there's a lot of stuff on the field, and just like, meeting everyone, different cultures and all that. That's kind of like helped you prepare for, the real world, the work world. And yeah, I feel like that's what has helped me, set myself up for success.
Fernando?
Yeah, I think I would say it helped me a lot because I learned from a bunch of cultures, and the interaction I had with different friends and different people, plus the athletic experience that for me, it was the best athletic experience that I've had in my life. And applying it to where I am right now, it just set me up the perfect way it had to be set, because I'm able to transmit the message I learned over there to kids and students in this part of the country. So I'm happy about the life I lived and what I learned in Mercyhurst.
And Andy, what is your Mercyhurst experience kind of helped you with going towards?
Yeah, definitely just learning from as many people as I can. My coaches, that's something that I've definitely taken forward. Like I'm trying to go into that kind of field as well. So every coach I've been under, whether it's junior college and then my with Nenad and Orsino, and then that opened doors kind of for summer leagues and meeting different coaches there. I just definitely want to be involved in the world of like athletics, definitely soccer related, and then definitely the cultures that I've been exposed to, just being able to travel to them places, meet people that I've met over the years as well. Definitely one of the main parts.
Well, guys, thanks for coming on the show. We appreciate it. It was great talking to you guys. And Mercyhurst fans, make sure you stay tuned for our next Mercyhurst Alumni Spotlight. Your host, Jack Angelucci, signing off, and go Lakers.